covered
This
in so much
conference will
more detail.
now be recorded.
Yeah, I think that will be covered in so much more detail during the sessions in other parts, which is not the core purpose of this session. But you will be playing a very major role in the form of not just getting the funds for your venture which you are nurturing, but also in terms of as a counselor and also as a support person, the anchor for the entrepreneur who will be uh, dependent on you as such, kind of, because that is a time when there are so many things the entrepreneur will be looking at, and having a strong pillar supporting that particular entrepreneur will be a big support for the success of that particular entrepreneurial venture. So, having said that, again, I will definitely continue with this particular part because I'm really passionate about people like you, actually. Fine. So, first of all, let's look at what this idea thing is. So, when we are looking at protecting it, we need to understand what is this thing called as ideas, and what is it that can be protected and which cannot be. So, the question comes up: can all business ideas be protected? And for that matter, what is a business? So, I mean, the easiest of any business at any point in time is basically to start a trading business. And even among that, easiest of trading, without any capital, you can start this particular business without any capital of your own, without any knowledge of your own, without any, I mean, not only the business knowledge, you don't even need to have any product knowledge. So all that you need to do is identify a place of size 4 feet by 4 feet, and you are there in business. That is basically your the roadside corner shops, or petti kadai as we call it, right? All that you need to identify is identify a 4 by 4 area on the road, maybe, or maybe in a slightly more protected area if you're looking at legal hassles and preventing that also, and you're in business. Because today you have people who will supply you with the box in which you are going to be sitting and keeping those products for sale, that you can get it on a monthly rental basis, weekly or monthly rental basis. So you don't need to know how to build that box. People will give it to you on rental. And today, those boxes are also coming with so many other convenience features, like there's a lamp, there is a fan, and all those other convenience features also, where to sit and all those comfortable things. So the box is given to you. Do I need to know about which products will sell there? Again, answer is no. You don't need to know anything about products, because the ITCs of the world and Hindustan Unilevers of the world, they will come and tell you which product, how much of things you need to keep in stock based on the area where you have identified this box. This area will sell more of cigarettes. This area will sell more of after that. This area will sell more of your shampoos and tea packets, coffee packets, those kind of things. This area will sell more of bananas and peanut candies. So all that input will be given to you by the vendors. And do I need a lot of money to keep all these products? Again, answer is no. Once you have identified a right place, then people will come and give you that material also. And you have something called as bill to bill concept or weekly bill concept. So they will come once in a week, find out how much has been sold, and then take the money for that. Or they will collect the previous week's bill this week and then again give you refill your stock. Whatever is sold, that again will be refilled. Okay, so I don't need any money for investment for your stock that I have for the sale. That also becomes free for you. And do I need any skill for this? Or again, I used to wonder as to how beautifully these people have arranged their those peanut candies or the coconut burpees and all those things. Have you seen those? In those earlier, it used to be those glass bottles. Nowadays, it's clear plastic bottles. where very temptingly they would have arranged all these things. It may be a laddu, it may be a coconut burfi and all those things, beautifully arranged in those circles and all those steps and all those kind of things. So I used to wonder at the skill of this person. I used to think that the Petit Kadaiwala would have all those skills. Till about 6 months ago, when I realized that when I saw what was actually happening, even that skill these people don't have. Then who does all those arrangings? It is a person who supplies that peanut chikkis and the coconut burpees, who actually arranges these things. So he comes there. If you want to want that to be filled, he says, "Okay, narapirunga, fill it." That is all that you are going to say. So this guy is carefully take out the old stocks, keeps it aside, fills it with the new stocks, then puts the old stock at the top, arranges it beautifully, and then leaves. So imagine, you don't need to have anything at all. No skill, no money, nothing. And you're in business and you make the money. Okay. So that is trading. So what is there to protect there? There is no idea there as such. Idea is only the place that you had. So nothing to be protected. And you cannot call these people an entrepreneur also. Now, then what about the person who is actually making those coconut burpees? He's manufacturing, right? So then, is that an entrepreneurial venture? Can they have something to protect there? Again, maybe the answer is no. Yes, in case this person has a brand, a trademark, and those kind of thing, maybe that is maybe protectable. Otherwise, again, answer is no. You're not going to really be protecting anything there. So, and if you look at typically the Coimbatore market, where you have pumps and wet grinders, household pumps, your borewell pumps, and all those things being manufactured, so to say, you really can't call most of these people proper manufacturers also, because they are more of assemblers. All that you need to do is go into next to Lakshmi Mills, and you will find so many shops with all the spares, including the packing material. So if you say, I want to assemble and sell half HP monoblock for houses, even the stickers are ready-made. So you have Bhagya Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, Shanta Lakshmi, so many Lakshmi brands out there, which is the common trade name for all these things, for maybe a pump or a wet grinder. All these are pre-done. All that you need to do is maybe just stamp your name there, and then it is all ready. They will give you all the spares. Like in the model Vanda, I want that model, this model. All spares are available. You want only 10 pieces, buy 10. If you want 1,000, you can buy those 1,000, assemble it, and you become a manufacturer. So that is how manufacturing is also done today. So is this an entrepreneurial venture again? Answer is again, I would say no. So what is it that you are bringing to this business? What is the idea that you're bringing out here? I see good comments from Dr. Srinivasan there, where he's saying, okay, it is the ability to convince the customers, which is what you are bringing to the business today. What you are bringing there is only your marketing ability. Yes, I'll be able to sell 10 wet grinders every day. So I will do the assembling and keep selling it. Great. So that is the skill that you are bringing there. And what is the idea there? Maybe that there you are talking about some, instead of the standard Santan Lakshmi, Bhagya Lakshmi, this Lakshmi, that Lakshmi, there is one Sri Lakshmi SRI, there is another Lakshmi SREE. So that is the only difference that these people are bringing to that wet grinder, basically. So can you bring something else there? That is a question that we are asking there. So then when we don't say these are entrepreneurs, then who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is one who is able to take up a problem. It may be it may be anywhere. It may be inside a factory. It may be a social problem. It can be any problem. An entrepreneur is one who takes up a problem and finds a unique solution to that and takes it to the market and is able to make money out of it. That is an entrepreneur. So the difference between an entrepreneur and a scientist or an inventor is that an inventor may not be solving a social or saleable product. Maybe an inventor may be creating so much of new ideas, new problem, new things. But the question is that saleable? If it is not saleable, then he is not an entrepreneur. He's an inventor, right? Somebody should be ready to pay money for it. Then you become an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you are an inventor. Okay, inventor also protects rights. So that way, the protection of rights is the common denominator. But not all inventors can become entrepreneurs. Okay, so that is the key difference here. Because as an entrepreneur, I'm looking at a change which I can take to the customers, and my customers are ready to pay me for that particular idea. So that is very much important for somebody to be designated as to be called as an entrepreneur. Fine. So what are those ideas that I can protect? So I can be protecting my product, of course. The product, there can be a difference in the way you design the product or bring out that particular product. There's a lot of talk about recently launched phone, which again to be launched phone from Asus. Last version they had this Asus Zenfone 6, where they brought out a phone where you can, the camera, instead of being fixed, it will open up, it will come out. It's not a pop-up also, it jumps out from behind and then takes a shot. That's a innovation, right? They definitely have a what do you call, patent for that, right? Now they're extending it to 7 also, and now they are saying, okay, you can have panorama, automatic panorama done using this particular system. Otherwise, when you do a panoramic capture using your image, you need to turn around and take the photograph like that. Now you just hold the camera and the camera itself will move, because it's an external kind of a thing which will just come out and do all those things. They've patented that particular thing. So that's a new thing related to your smartphones, right? So that it's a product, it's a new development that we are talking about. So it can be it can be a revolutionary thing related to the product, or it can be, see, today's cars, there are version 1, version 2, version 3, so many things are happening, and Honda City, now we are talking about 11th generation car. So the basic thing is the same, even the name is the same, but there are certain features which they have differentiated, and that they will definitely go in for a patent, saying this particular model you are not supposed to, other people are not supposed to make it. Fine. So that way the products can be patented for changes based on the earlier things, and improvements based on the other things. So that is the product level ideas which you can patent. And the other one, the next one is the process. So this is again something which is typical to Indian situations, and particularly related to pharma products. For pharma products in India, we don't have the product patent as yet. There is a lot of talk which is going on with the government of India. Maybe shortly we will also go for product-based patent for pharma products. But as of now, we have only the process patent for pharma-related product. We don't have the product patent, which basically means somebody has developed a chemical for curing one particular pain or a disease. In India, they might have, this particular person initially might have designed one particular process to bring that product out. In India, if I can develop a new process to manufacture the same chemical, still I can continue to manufacture that. So that is a process patent. So my process, I can register and say, nobody else should copy this. Output is the same, but the process to reach that particular chemical is different. So nobody should use my process flow, and I still have protection for that process flow. This is unique to India, particularly for pharma products. So so there is the process related patents also. Then we have content related rights. So the first part is of the content is maybe authors of books. Most of you are from the academic institutions. So when if you are authoring a book, then you have the copyright to that. Nobody else is supposed to copy that particular content that you have generated on your own. So that is the copyright. So how do I protect my copyright? If you and today, particularly after the COVID related situation, there is lot of copyrightable content which is being generated, right from videos that people have been creating to the blogs, websites that people are creating. So much of content is coming out, and people are really making money out of this. So when we are looking at this content, then there are so many other aspects related to this. So copyright by itself is an automatic thing. Actually, it comes to you automatically once you create that content. All that you need to do is you would mention it at the base of the site saying copyrighted to so and so. That statement alone will do, and the year of getting it done. So then it becomes an automatic copyright, and you would have so many software online and offline for checking for plagiarism and things like that. So that is the tool which can be used for identifying whether that content has been copied else or not. Today you can apply the same tool on websites, on web pages, to check for how much of the content has already been there in other websites. So that can be done. I'm sorry. The other key thing, which again is a recent development, which is the design itself. Let's say somebody designs a logo for you, okay, and you paid the money and you've started using that logo on your website or on your packaging, on your machine, all those things. You developed a logo. That's it. So you're started using it for the company. The question now comes up. Now remember, you've already paid for the logo also. Now the question is, who's the actual owner for the logo? In reality, the logo still belongs to the designer, not to you, though you have paid for it. Because unless there is a signed document which says between the two people, between the logo designer and you, saying the design of the logo has been on a contractual nature, and once we accept the logo, the designer will not entertain any rights on the logo unless you that is a statement saying the designer will not have any rights on the logo. If you have signed and taken it between the two of you, the actual logo still actually belongs to the designer only. We have had such legal cases happening during these recent times, where somebody does the design, and then once the company is going for an IPO and things like that, the designer comes in and says, hey, that logo is mine. You need to pay for this if you are going in for all these things. And they've gone to court and all those things, but all those court cases have gone in favor of the designer, not in favor of the company. So we need to be careful with all these things. So these are the ideas that we can look at. So there's a copyright. When you are looking at this design related thing, you have trademark, and which can go into a registered trademark. So you would find some of these logos with a T at the in a circle at the top as a superscript. So that means it's a trademark which has been going through registration. And once the registration is okay and it comes through, then you can change it to an R, basically. So that becomes a registered trademark. So when you put a T, it means it is under registration. After registration, you can convert it to an R. So it becomes a registered trademark. Copyright, of course, you have a C inside this thing, inside the circle. So all these are things which can be protected. So when it comes to product, what are those things that we need to be aware of? What is it that we need to be looking at? So products, of course, patents, but when we come to the patents, we need to be very careful about the geographical area for which we are looking at taking up the patents. This is very important. So it doesn't mean, see, this again came to me as a surprise when I was going in for my patent filings, the very first patent filing. I thought if you file for a patent, then it is done. You are the ultimate owner of it. So answer is no. That is a wrong thinking. A patent, if you are filing with the patent office in India, you are filing a patent only for India. So if you are taking that product to USA, let's say Qatar or Korea, Kenya or Brazil, then it will not be protected there. So if you think that your product has potential for selling in so many other countries, then you need to definitely protect it for all those different countries. Again, the question can come up, does that mean that I need to go into all those different countries? And today we are talking about close to 200 different countries. Does that mean I need to have patent applications and foreign currencies being paid in 200 and odd different currencies? Answer is no. You have something called as the patent, what do you call it? Universal International Patent Agreement, this thing, treaty. So you can go for filing through them, and that will take care of your entire filing. So you can choose those countries and go for the filing. We'll look at that in detail also. So when you're looking at process, of course, we have already discussed, this is a process right, which is available only in India. In future, this will be converted to a process, from a process right, it will get converted into a process patent also. So content here, we are talking about books and blogs, words. See, even words have powerful meaning and which you can register. In fact, my earlier company, we had coined a word for that particular meaning. So that particular word, we had gone in for a registration of the trademark. So those are very important. So even those words that you coin, you can go for it. Software, again, this is very, very important. Software, you can go in for a copyright. Software, any software coding that you've done uniquely, that automatically has a copyright. Now, when you're writing your books and blogs and other things, how will you know as to you are the true owner of that particular content? How will we know? For that, the date of creation of the document becomes very important. That gives you the precedence. If it is a blog, then automatically the date of uploading your content onto the blog takes the date of your rights. But when we are looking at the software or looking at your book content and all those things, then maybe you would say that I have been using this particular Word document for writing my content. So the date of creation of that Word document takes the precedence. So if you are an author and if you are looking at publishing your book and those kind of things, then please don't ever delete your first Word document on which you started creating that things, your content, at least till it gets published, because that is giving you the precedence in terms of when you started doing this work. That is a very important document. Ensure that you have it uploaded onto a Google Drive and keep it safe there. Even if you're changing your what do you call, laptop, your desktop and all those things getting crashed and all those things, ensure that the very first document that you created is getting uploaded onto some drive for safekeeping. So that will give you the precedence in terms of the date you started the work on that. That is very, very important. And something else that okay, fine. So the date of precedence is important. Software again, automatically, I think if you are looking at most of the what do you call coding languages and other things, the date of creation of that document is automatically created. So you will know as to, and then after that you talk about modifications and later modifications. So that is very important there. So you can go for a trademark and copyright. And when you are talking about books, there is another important thing that particularly since most of you are from education institutions, you have this particular opportunity where maybe you can, since you are all related to teaching and things, for your own personal requirement, the costliest thing in writing going in for publishing a book is the printing actually. So today we can avoid that cost and bring it down to zero when you go in for online publishing of your books using mediums like Amazon. And normally on a the printed book, see now today publishing is different and printing is different. So you can publish a book without any printing. So that is the thing. When you go in for print, normally you will get something like 10% or 15% maximum of the MRP of the book as your royalty fees. But when you are going in for online publishing, you can say, I want 80% of the sale price as your royalty. That is the advantage again that you have. Plus, you can sell these books across the world when you look at mediums like Amazon. So that's a very big opportunity. And we need to ensure that the rights are taken care of in a proper way, because it's a huge money spinning opportunity and we can take it across the world. And Amazon in certain countries, I think in this has started already. I mean, this started in the USA maybe I think 3-4 years ago, and now they've extended to Europe, certain parts of Europe also, where you have both the options for the customer, wherein you can say, I want to use only the soft version, or if they say I want the print version, then Amazon will print only one book for that particular customer and send it to them as a single book. So if you want to sell in USA and in Europe, you as an author can choose that option also. Do you want to choose only the soft copy version, or do you also want to go for the printed version? And if you click for both, a customer can choose the print version and only one book will be printed and dispatched to that particular client customer. So that is the kind of technological advancements that we have. And on that printed version, of course, you will get a lesser royalty. All the other, of course, the price also for the printed version will be much higher. These are the opportunities that we have. So what is the cost involved for taking up these protective covers that we are talking about? So when we go for PCT, which is that global treaty that we were, as I was mentioning it earlier, definitely the cost is going to be higher. And that also depends upon the geographical areas that we are looking at covering. Normally, Europe, because of the European Union, which is there, Europe would be covered in one shot. The North American, because of the treaty that we have, that they already had. So USA, Canada, and Mexico will be covered as one group. So that is an advantage. South America, again, there will be some treaty-based countries. So that again will be covered as a group. SARC can be covered as a group. So these kind of group of countries based on their association, we can have them covered as a group by paying certain fees for them as a one-shot this thing. But typically the cost for covering PCT, covering your product under PCT will be somewhere around, will start maybe from 2.5 lakhs, might go up to 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs kind of things. But when we are looking at, and it also depends upon the type of organization that you are looking at. So if you are looking at an individual, then the cost is significantly less. A group of people, second higher level. And if you are an organization as a registered entity, as a separate entity, then the cost will be much higher. So let's look at the costs involved. I have a thing. Is this visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, so this is the typical cost for the Indian patent filing. So if it's an individual, the patent filing cost is only 1,600 rupees. Can you believe that? And it might go up based on the number of pages that you have, drawings that you add, and all those things. So this 1,600, I think, is for one description sheet, which is the executive summary, and 10 papers of description and one drawing sheet. Maybe you will need more, and for per paper they will add, I think, some 50 rupees or 200 rupees kind of thing. For me, it took me 3,500 rupees when I did my first filing. But when I went to the attorney and went through this process of sitting with them, discussing and all those things, they said it is going to cost them somewhere around 60,000 rupees. I'm talking about the year 2011, maybe 2000, not 2011, 2010. That is when I started going into this particular area of starting with the filing and things like that. 60 or 65,000 rupees was what they were asking. But finally, because typically as an entrepreneur, as a first generation entrepreneur, lack of money is something that you always are fighting with, lack of resources. So somebody suggested, well, I mean, yes, I understand you don't have this money. Why don't you just go to the patent office directly and try it out? So South India's patent office is there at Chennai, Gindi, Industrial Estate. So when I landed there, huge office, typical government office, huge one, huge lobby basically. There is just one security officer standing there, and I asked him, I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I want some support. Whom should I talk to? So again, a big surprise from the security officer. He said, okay, please wait for some time. I'll see if the director is free. I think the bigger, highest thing is the assistant director or senior director, somebody who's the head of that particular branch itself, the regional branch. He said, let me check if he's free. I said, all right, sir, please don't call up the director and all that. There should be some executives and other people, right? So introduce me to them and let me check with them. Then he said, who's the applicant? I said, I'm the applicant. I'm the innovator. I'm the applicant. Then he said, no, wait. He will definitely love to meet you people. So wait. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think maximum time that I waited for was only for 15 minutes. And then the security guard again came back and said, okay, go up, well, go left, second door kind of things. And I entered in just 15 minutes, surprise of my life. We got to meet the highest authority in India for this zone. Imagine the kind of support that we get as the innovators and entrepreneurs from these government organizations. So he spent almost, I think maybe around, definitely more than half an hour, maybe around 45 minutes, not an hour, I'm sure. Definitely more than half an hour though. We were discussing about so many things in terms of, he went through the application in full. He was appreciating the kind of first level work that we have done, because I had done a lot of work based on Google and analysis and all those things, because this attorney also had helped me initially in terms of the questions that was asked and all those things. So he was appreciative of this, saying this is something, this is how you need to do, these things you can change, and what needs to be done, how long it will take, when the review will come, how much it will cost for the review, all those kind of things. Whom do you think will be your competitor? So many things he was asking and then going ahead. And he was asking me to change so many papers and files, how to approach that, words to be changed, and all those things. All those inputs we are getting for free. Imagine, from the highest level of authority also related to that particular thing. And then I said, okay, sir, maybe I'll change all these things and then come back after 2-3 months and then go for it. Then he came up with another idea saying, see, you don't have to waste this opportunity. Today, having come here and me having seen these papers, I see there is value in this particular patent. So go in for a provisional filing of the patent. See, this is another new thing, actually. You don't have to go directly for filing of the patent itself. you can go for something called as a provisional patent. So which is again like that Word document that I was talking about. You are yet to go in for publication, but you have created a Word document which you are using for your book. So provisional patent is something like that. You first file the patent, provisional patent, and your precedent starts from the date of filing of the provisional patent itself. And you can go back, change the different things related to the patent. Maybe something will work, something will not work. Because before you go for a commercial thing, there are so many things you will change from the idea of the provisional patent. And once you are ready to say that, yes, this product works, and now with this particular product, I'm ready to go to the market, and then you can go actually for the product final patent application. And you have 1 whole year from the date of filing of the provisional patent to filing of the final patent. But the precedence will be from the provisional patent itself. So I'm setting my right, saying this is my right from today itself, and I have 1 whole year before I finish my product itself and go for the final patent. Imagine all these things are available with us. And it costs, and I think that day I paid some 3,500 rupees. That's it. Nearby there's a bank itself, take a DD and give it to them. Done. It is so simple. So we don't have to really be frightened about protecting our rights and what will happen, what has to be done. It is very simple. And these application forms are available from their site itself. You can download them. And today everything has gone online also. You don't even have to go and visit their place. You can, sitting at your own place, you can do the filings and things like that. That is the advantage. But for somebody who's coming in fresh, saying, sir, I don't know what to be done, what all needs to be there again in that paper. Again, the thing is, it's actually a very simple process where you need to check out on the previous patents which are there, check on what is it that you have improved on, and then convert it into the similar pattern in which those previous patterns have been there in terms of the words that you use. So that will be the typical legal and engineering oriented words that are there. And similar, and I'm sure being in academics, most of you would be using Google Scholar. So similar to Google Scholar, you also have Google Patents. So go into that, and when you type for your keyword, the entire list of patents which have been filed, different parts of the world, that will come up for you. So the idea that you want to go in for a patent itself will give you so many ideas in terms of what all your previous innovators and competitors have already done in terms of the patents. So if your research is going in one area, one direction, going through this, you will also understand what all I should not do today, what all has already been done, researched, and all those things. So that way your research also can be extended and hastened up. It can be speeded up, not hastened up. It can be speeded up in a much more productive way, actually. So go through this process. So that is for the patent. And when you're talking about trademark, there are some 45, 46 sections related to trademark. So it can be related to manufacturing, it may be related to teaching, finance, it may be related to dress materials, it may be related to engineering, automobile. So you have so many sections. They're called sections. They're all classified into different groups. All these are international things. So any product or service that you can think of will in one way or the other will fit into these sections. Again, so when we are looking at a trademark, we need to be very careful in terms of the sections that we choose for filing these trademark. If you have enough money, and here it is based on sections, the number of sections that you pay the money. So if you have the money, I would always recommend that you take up all the sections if your trademark is unique. If it is something that you have created with that logo, design, that punchline and all those things, then I would say it is always better to go in for the entire sections. It is worth spending money there. a typical example I was sharing in the last group also is, the brand Lux, right? Such a high profile owner of Lux, right? We are talking about, I think maybe 1 lakh crore of turnover for this company, Hindustan Unilever, only in India, that too, right? Such a large international player. They failed registering Lux under that section for dress materials. That is why you have Lux underwear and Lux banyan, right? Can you imagine? I've spent so much of research, marketing money on everything on Lux as a soap. But here comes a guy who's selling Lux underwear, right? Imagine the impact of your brand. Is it not buried there in some this thing? All that because they failed to register as a trademark for by spending some 1,000, 2,000 rupees. You fail there, and somebody is going to jump up and use your brand, your trademark. So we need to be very careful. If you have the money, please do spend that 1,000, 2,000, and maybe if you're talking about 46 sections, then maybe you're going to spend something like 50,000, 60,000 rupees to register all the things. But it is still worth it if you are in the business in a serious way. Better do it for all the brands, all the sections. So in terms of my patent filing for the first one, I was referred by one of the government of India organizations, excuse me, to do the patents. And I was referred to one of their registered attorneys. So I'm sitting in Trichy, and this referred person, is a attorney, was sitting in Bangalore. So I had to travel at least some 4-5 times, going here and there, traveling to that person, discussing with them. And they said, we have engineers who are our patent attorneys, so we will understand your product and all that. That's fine. But once I sat with this, my attorney, my assigned attorney, I understood that we were working on cutting edge technology. So I don't expect that they will understand what we are talking about. But in terms of the level of understanding, it was the paperwork, most of the paperwork I was doing. Yes, he did introduce Google patents to me. That was a good thing that he had done. But otherwise, we were talking about the whole writing, and the whole things were done by me only. So that again gave me the confidence, saying, when we are doing all these things ourselves, then why should we be paying some 65,000 to this patent attorney? What is the point? Definitely, it doesn't make much of sense, right? The entire documentation, I'm doing it, right, including words and all those other things. But of course, they did introduce me to the PCT potential, saying, okay, see, we have checked in so many places, then there is definitely an opportunity for you to go in for a PCT also, which is the international patent. Of course, I didn't go for the PCT again. The cost wise, they are significantly higher. So that was my experience. So I went straight to Gindi. That was my final. So once you do that, there is so much of joy. Wow, I've done that patent filing. Today I have 5 filings. Some of them are coming up for review now. So that is how it goes. Now again, the joy of doing that first filing is that now when you're doing the product development or other things also, your mind tends to look out for that uniqueness and all those other things also. So today, when we are looking at any R&D and other things, we automatically look out for the previous patent filings, check for those things, and ensure that we are not copying them, and again looking at something different, something unique we try to bring into our process and product also, which is not done previously. So that thinking in that newer aspect automatically comes up once you have done one of those filings. It becomes an organization culture once you have done one of those filings first. So that is a good thing with the filing also. Thanks to again to the Government of India departments who are always insisting on those aspects. What is unique? They will ask you for elaborate reports and all those things. Even the funding that I get will come from because we are talking about those things. Okay, I think we have another 10 minutes, so I can quickly go through my entrepreneurial journey also. Any questions at this point before I go into this? Anybody in the chat or the things? There are a few questions. Yes, service cannot be patented, but you can go in for the copyright, Mr. Karthikeyan. Mr. Srinivasan says, yes, an entrepreneur has confidence to face any situation. Yes. Again, it may be an innate talent, but again, that is where you come in as the incubation manager. I've had so many situations with Mr. Jawahar, the executive director of TechStep, where I've literally sat with him and cried, actually, saying, I don't know what to do now. You tell me what can be done. And the state is so much in a poor state. What to do next? So that is where the support of the incubation manager comes in. Risk averter, maybe I'll say I'm more of a risk manager. We are not aversive to risk. In fact, we are risk takers. But a planned risk taker or a managed risk taker, that's what definition says. But many a times you just jump in and then only learn swimming. Breaking the competition, yes, that is something that an entrepreneur is aggressively looking at. Today, as my company, we compete with the GEs of the world. And the GE founder was, of course, Edison, more than 125 years old company. We compete with GE in their products. We compete with also Rongen, the company that Rongen created related to X-rays, that has again gone through so many changes in terms of takeovers, mergers, and all those things. We compete with, but the history in terms of parentage is from Rongen. So we compete with them. So the original founders of engineering, we compete with them, and we take orders in that competition. So that is a core, what do you call, the drive as an entrepreneur to compete, actually. So my journey started after my +2. I'm a state rank holder in +2, and my grandpa, again, we are a family of teachers. My grandpa is an engineering professor. He was teaching till he was something like 89. He continued to teach. One of his books on basic mechanical engineering, published by Tata McGraw-Hill, was recommended by Anna University. So wherever he goes, they will say, you are the author, so why don't you handle classes for our students? So he'll continue to teach till 89. And after an accident, he stopped teaching. He's today 94 and still hale and healthy. So he was the person who suggested that, hey, you seem to be excelling in different things. So in case you want to be an entrepreneur and you want some support, I'm there to support you. So that was the kind of the stimulus which came in, which said, okay, why don't you look at the entrepreneurial journey? So automatically, when I went in for engineering, I chose mechanical engineering, because again, from Coimbatore, if you're looking at manufacturing, it is mechanical. So many CNCs and lathes and all the things. Anywhere in Coimbatore you turn around, you will find these kind of things, manufacturing. So I took up mechanical engineering. But again, by the time I could finish my engineering, I understood that, yes, JK, you know how to manage machines, but till date, you don't know how to manage people. Right. So, and without knowing how to manage people, how can you establish a company? So that thought came to me, and then my choice was to do an MBA. So because then they will teach us how to manage people also, and then I can go out and start my company. And when I entered MBA, I got introduced to a totally new subject called finance. That was totally not there in my area itself. And that really opened up my mind, saying, there's so much more that you need to learn. And then I took up some fast track jobs where my purpose, intention was to learn. So very fast track in this thing, because I was promoted 3 times in just 2 years in a company like Exxon Mobil. Today, I think it is the 5th or 6th largest company in the world. So those kind of tracks. And then I failed 3 times in my different ventures. Again, my work, again, at that particular time, I used to travel something like 25 days in a month. Even after marriage, I was continuing to do that. And I said, no way, this is not going to happen. I'm going for a divorce. So I divorced my job and started my first company in Chennai. We took up a 1-acre plot there and started manufacturing products which I can supply to my previous company itself. It made perfect sense. I was with LPG. in developing products, and where I can develop those products and the intern sell LPG. So we started manufacturing those products itself. Made perfect sense. We had number of installations and other things, but because of partnership issues and other things, we had to close that. I came back to Coimbatore, started again, joined one of my other very close friends and joined them in their company as a marketing person and started doing some work related to that. Again, that didn't go on. The third venture, we said, okay, having learned so many things, let's start a family business. My father was a doctor. My uncle was into medical equipment servicing. So why not we go into manufacturing X-ray machines? So, but again, manufacturing we realized is very different from servicing. So there again, by the time we realized that I had lost my father and all the doctor contacts was lost because my father passed away. And by the time my house was under loan, we had gone for a mortgage loan to sustain it. We sold off our land to sustain the company. All those things, everything is gone, and no product in hand. But at that particular point in time, one sad event also happened, but that was where you learn as an entrepreneur. That is the drive which creates an entrepreneur. The pain points in the society that we were talking about. There was a landslide in Ooty, and one of the bus landslip, not a landslide, a landslip happened, and one of the minibus went down a small gorge, and many people died on the spot, and around 50 people were admitted in the Ooty GH. So people had we were called for servicing the X-ray machines. There were 3 machines, and none of them were working. And the next day, the minister was coming and all those things. So overnight, we landed there around 1 o'clock, set it right, and then said, okay, machine is ready, now take the X-rays. But they said, no, X-ray machines, the operator has to come. There are so many other things. So let's wait till 10 o'clock. Then I asked my uncle, said, Mama, you know, you are the expert of the zone. So why don't you take the X-rays? Then he said, no, I know how to set right the machine, but taking up X-ray, film development and all those things, that is not my cup of tea. I cannot do that. So then we, and this is in a situation when so many people are in pain, we could not sleep there, so many people in that morning and this thing, kind of things. And there I can still visualize the one lady whose arm was so swollen because of some hurt inside her arm, so swollen that we are not able to see her gold bangle inside. Imagine the kind of swelling. But no treatment could be done because X-ray could not be taken. That is when we decided that, hey, we need to avoid this thing called film X-rays. So we'll generate digital X-rays. So that is where we decided and started working on digital X-rays. That is what we got funded for also. So this is what we started out with, to generate X-rays without any film. And we got incubated at TrekStep. But again, there are so many pain points, so many things that we did wrong, taking up too many things at the same time, cost overruns and all those things. That was there, of course. This is what we got from the Government of India at TrekStep, basically, Trichy REC Science and Technology Entrepreneur Park, a huge space for our research area. And in fact, to conserve on money and other expenses, instead of taking up a separate house and all those things, we stayed inside the shed itself. Because there is a restroom and other things are there. There were 4 rooms also, which we could use for manufacturing. So one room we allotted for cooking and sleeping and other things. One was the office, and other things we use it for stores. And the huge space in between was our research area. That itself was enough for us. Other rooms we made it for staying and sleeping and all those things. So that is how we stayed here, literally, inside this factory shed, the entire team. And good thing with these fundings, it's a matter of pride and also big responsibility. See, look at the bottom. When you get money from the Government of India, you get letters with these kind of words. By the sanction and approval of the President of India, I'm getting money. Right? So it's a big sense of pride. Even now, when I see this portion, I get goosebumps. See the kind of recognition. You see, the President of India is giving me money so that I can do my research and then come back and serve the society. It's a big responsibility also that I carry on my shoulders. So we keep running again. So that is the joy of being an entrepreneur. So when you carry these kind of things, and we continue to give back, in fact. So some of the recognitions, we got the best life sciences product from ISBA. DST Lockheed Martin, I would say this is the biggest achievement in my life till date, because this is a 1 year long selection and elimination process. Huge this thing. We had, I think, around 1,000 people competing, and finally, I think around 20 people were selected for the final round. Every round you will have elimination. 1,000 applicants, 100 were called for an interview at Delhi initially. 50 were selected for the next round, and from there around 25 were selected for a 10 days training and elimination round in Goa. 10 days in Goa, we couldn't go to the beach even once. So that is how tight this schedule was. And the last day they said, "Arey, now let's go." So all of us went to the beach, at least touched the sea, and then came back. That is how tight these sessions and competitive these sessions were. And then we go in for the final presentation. This person standing next to me is Dr. Ray Johnson, who was the head technical director of Lockheed Martin Corporation. He has 25,000 PhDs reporting to him for this research things. So when this person says, "Hey, JK, you are worth, your research is worth it," then it is the biggest thing. So that is why I call this the biggest achievement in my life till now. So TDB gives fundings for import substitutes. That is a funding that we got. Many advantages when you get these, and this is something which is very important. Like I think Dr. Srinivasan was mentioning, the strength, you are confident, and all those things. Actually, the confidence one way does not come on its own. Actually, it is the process of being an entrepreneur which gives you that confidence. Yes, you need to be confident to jump in first. Yes, but it is because of thanks to people like you who are the venture managers, and also the persistence in being there. It's a big process of self-discovery. I'm very sure the same Karthikeyan. I'm not the same Karthikeyan who was there 10 years or 15 years ago. No, and I'm not going back also. It is a huge process of self-discovery, and you love that going through that process. This is where I was covered by INSEED. INSEED, you would know, there's a French this thing, huge French this thing. These are some of the ventures. Again, one thing I would like to share again related to entrepreneurship is that I am a huge believer in teams. See, though I am the person who was standing there getting that gold medal from Dr. Ray Johnson, but it is not me alone who's receiving it. It's the whole team. I am a huge believer in teamwork for a success of an entrepreneurial venture. You cannot alone become a success. There are so many things in an entrepreneurial venture which you cannot and should not also be trying to do on your own. That is something that you need to again tell your mentees who will be coming in with you to be, which you will be mentoring. Ensure that they create a core team right from day one. That is very, very important. Or if not, from the first week. It is as important as that. You should not say, okay, after 1 year I'll form the team. It is not going to succeed. If they cannot do it on day one, let them do it in the first week. It is that important. Ensure that they work as a team. The team can be employees. That is fine. Doesn't mean that you give away your stake and all that. That is fine. Yeah, they can be employees. That is fine. But you need to have a team. Without a team, no entrepreneurial venture can really succeed. And the innovation also keeps going on. It is not a one-time innovation that we do. This was one of our first machines for industrial inspection based on X-rays that we generated, that we could make. This is our current machine. Today, seeing this particular machine, the NDT head of BMW, a lady, a PhD in NDT, she had come to Coimbatore for one of the inspection in our customer site. She's from BMW. She, in fact, was surprised by the capability of our machine. The machine which BMW uses in Germany for their inspection, that can inspect 500 components per day. Our machine is doing 2,500 components every day for their vendor. She was thinking that they will have something like 5 machines for that inspection, but she was surprised that a single machine is able to do all the inspection that in terms of volume that BMW is not able to do. So she was really surprised and happy and appreciating our product. So this again, I'll just take another 2 minutes. Sorry, we are exceeding time, and I'm between your lunch also. This is my work style again, which I would definitely want to share, because this is something. This again is not my own words. I borrowed these words, but I truly subscribe to these words and practice these words in terms of my work style. Reason is, this is something that in case your mentee entrepreneurs can subscribe to, can accept, I'm sure they will be successes compared to anything else. And it goes like this: create like God. Don't look out for any limitations. When we started our company, our dream was to sell one X-ray machine every month, a medical X-ray machine. At that time, we were targeting somewhere around 2.5 lakhs. So our target was, if we can make 30 lakhs per year, wow, life itself is settled. Because maybe we will make something like 20,000-30,000 rupees per machine. That is enough for our living. So if we make that on a monthly basis, great, our life is settled, very happy. That was our dream to begin with as an entrepreneur. When we met Jawahar sir at TrekStep, he said, see, if you don't come up with a plan where you need an investment of 1 crore, please don't come to me. Please don't come to me. That is what he said. So when we said, see, what do we do with 1 crore of investment? Where do I invest it? What do I do with that? We don't know. So that is the kind of thought that we need as an entrepreneur. So create like God. Don't look out for limitation. Think big. And we are on that track now. We've invested more than 1 crore. Now we are going back to him saying, sir, now we need 10 crores of investment. And we are looking at 100 crores of turnover. Tell me a scheme. Tell me something where I can bring in 10 crores of investment to my company. So that is what we are talking about. How much can you give out of that 10 crores? So that is the kind of thought that we are bringing. Think big. There is no limitations. So create like God. Second thing is rule like a king. Here there are 2 aspects to this in terms of ruling like a king. One is in terms of being just. If there is a rule, you follow the rule. That's it. So it can be simple things like smoking, drinking inside the office, or it can be like safety related things like wearing your seat belt, wearing your helmets. We have a standing instruction that if somebody is not wearing a helmet or a seat belt 3 times, they'll be thrown out of the company. Simple. A very simple standing instruction, right? That will be followed, including the director, right? Even if the promoter or director, we don't wear a helmet or we don't wear a seat belt, my sweeper can point out and say, you are dismissed from the company from today. That is the right that anybody has in the organization. Rule like a king. Your rule is a rule. And at the same time, the next thing that we look out for in the rule, rule like a king, is to give. We work on advance basis with all our vendors. And in terms of promotion and recognition to our people, we give. Like those old movies, right? Wow, the song is beautiful. Inda vachigo, Malai. Those kind of things. So one of our employees who joined us just 3-4 years ago, today he's earning 4 times the salary that he was his joining salary. 4 times. We are not talking about 40%. We are not talking about this thing. We are talking about 400%. 4 times increasing in his salary. Why? Because he's doing a good job. So why not? So he learned the work from us, and now today he's teaching 2 more people. He's developing his own words now inside the company. So whom do we select? Again, he said, okay, the skills irukra mari aanugalam kudunga sir, I will develop them further. Next installation, I will send them over. So that is the kind of things. So rule like a king, give to people. And last one is work like a slave. Continue to work like a slave. As an entrepreneur, to begin with, you definitely have to slog it out. Otherwise, your product is not going to come out. So that way, during the development, you are definitely going to slog. You are going to work like a slave. But work like a slave throughout. So my again, even my employees will come in and say, so why should you be sitting in now? I'll say, okay, you go ahead, guys. I have some more work to finish, and then I'll go tomorrow. I'll go later. And many times we'll stay back and finish it, and then go home tomorrow also from the office. So they ask why? Why? What is it that you are doing? Why is it that you are continuing to work like that? So the thing is, there are certain aspects of the organization where, in terms of the designing, in terms of your organizational tie-ups and other things, which only you can do. Other things you will delegate and give it to your people. You've learned it, you delegate. For the, I mean, till date we have supplied maybe 30 machines, and only for the first 8 or 9 machines we went in for our installations. Rest of it today we don't go for installation. For the installation, we should not go. It should be done by our trained employees. If I keep going in for installation, how can I grow the company? But so I will go in for other levels of work. But that other levels of work also, we continue to work like a slave. Why? Because I'm not a slave to my family. I'm not a slave to my customer. I'm not a slave to my employees. I don't work for these reasons. I work because I'm a slave to my dreams. And I'm dreaming big. To achieve those dreams, I continue to work like a slave. So those, I think, if any entrepreneur can live by these words, they're sure to be successes. Not only in the, I mean, in their business venture, but in all aspects of life. So thank you for that. That's it from my side.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
queries and sharings, I would welcome it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful session. Not only throwing your views or insights on the copyright issues and the other things, but you have also inspired us to what a lot with all these words. Definitely, we will work as servants, sir. Like that is what we are. And thank you for joining us for all the 3 batches and enriching the whole experience, sir. And we will be sending back the feedback, and we have got a very good feedback on your sessions throughout all these batches. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And as a closing remark, again, I'll go back to where I started out with. Thanks to all of you who are looking at this particular aspect in terms of supporting entrepreneurs, because that is a very, very noble thing that you are taking up in your institutions. Because I can again, I've been repeating this again and again, because it is out of love actually and respect that I have for people like you, because I have directly benefited from venture managers, professionals like you from education institutions, where from not knowing what to do next, in totally being in the dumps in terms of financial, in terms of social, in terms of organizational aspects, totally being in the dumps, to where I am today in terms of being able to talk to you. It is a big change that I would definitely dedicate to venture managers and professionals like you actually. So thanks for being there actually, to my venture managers, and also in future for being there for entrepreneurs who are like me, future entrepreneurs who are like me. Thanks, and best wishes, and for your venture and careers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.